Today's video is brought to you by my mental health. What's up, pups? How you guys doing? I'm okay. Thanks for asking. Even though I am filming a mental health video, I kind of decided to film this video on a whim just because I don't really have any advice to give. I don't really have any information, like medical information. I just want to make this video because this is new to me, and also I just need like confirmation or like someone else who experiences this to tell me that like I'm not crazy. So if you follow me on my daily channel, the Daily Kayleigh, link down below, then you know that I got off birth control last year, and the reason that I stopped taking birth control was not because I wanted to start a family. It was actually aggravating my depression and my anxiety. It wasn't to the point that I was suicidal, because thankfully I've never ever even at my lowest point, never really considered doing that, because I personally could not do it. I just know that it's not in my being to do it. That being said, I was having thoughts where I just didn't feel very happy, and I felt like everything would be easier if I were gone. I didn't like that, and so I went to a therapist. It wasn't really helping. It was helping, but it wasn't like really helping. And I went back to my doctor that prescribed me my anxiety medication. He increased my dosage. It didn't really help. Of anyone, I happened to mention it to my gynecologist, and she immediately said, "It's your birth control." I had been on it for 10 plus years, and she essentially explained to me that being on birth control from like 18 to almost 30, your body goes through changes in your 20s. So all of my 20s were spent on birth control. And I didn't really have a break in it either. I guess I never really stopped to think that like your body does go through changes like that, like as you get older. Science. It does. And so essentially what she explained to me is that this can happen sometimes. If you're already prone to a mental illness, birth control can actually increase it. I couldn't explain it. I was super depressed. I had those thoughts that I mentioned. My anxiety was like above and beyond out of control, and I felt like I was reaching that giving up point because there was nothing that I could do. It was just literally day in, day out living my life feeling horrible. It just, I don't even know how I can explain it other than just like literally every waking moment feeling anxious, feeling tired, feeling depressed, feeling done, feeling like you've hit a dead end and you don't want to look for other options. You just want to be done. I was really scared to get off birth control because it was the only thing that I had known for a really long time in my life, and also it was preventing me from having a small child, in which I am not ready or capable to have at this point in my life. I finally decided to do it. I got off birth control, and surprisingly enough, I didn't have too bad of like side effects, because a lot of people say when you get off birth control you're gonna bloat, you're gonna gain weight, you're gonna do all these crazy things. Luckily that really didn't happen for me. I did have some like breaking out and stuff, but nothing too crazy, so I was very thankful in that regard. But the one thing that was crazy is within 2 weeks of getting off birth control, I started feeling not as depressed, still anxious, but like not at the level that I was at. I cannot explain it to you guys. I mean, there would be days that I would just cry, like cry and cry, and Ian wouldn't know what to do to help me. And I would say, there's nothing you can do. This is just how I feel. Like, it's my life. I'm living, like, I don't know what to do to fix it. I just feel stuck. And so I noticed a change almost immediately getting off birth control, and it was awesome. And I've been off birth control since, and it was going really, really great. And then I lost my job. And it was almost like, it's not a full 180 because I am nowhere near how bad it was while I was on birth control, but like, I've noticed that things are starting to creep back in, like very slowly. It's almost like I don't even notice they're there until they're just there, and I'm like, wait, when did this start happening again? So after I lost my job, I started having these hyper panic attacks, which were something that I had really never experienced. Even with like my anxiety on birth control, I never had these like hyper panic things. I tried to look up the symptoms online and it said something like a non-epileptic mental seizure thing, but I don't think it really was that because I was able to function. I just had to like stop what I was doing and focus because it took over everything. Like I would get this overwhelming sense of dread and fear, and my heart would be racing, and I would feel nauseous, like I was gonna throw up, like I'd need to sit down. Like it was just all of these crazy emotions happening at once, and when they would happen, it would feel like a long time, but in actuality, it was anywhere between 30 seconds to a couple minutes, and they were happening pretty frequently. I remember one day specifically, Ian and I were out running errands, and I think I had like 4 of them happen over the course of like a couple hours, and the last one that happened for that day was like so intense. So those started, and I actually haven't had one of those in about 3.5 weeks. Thank goodness. But I have started feeling like they're coming back. Like it's almost like in the background. Like I can feel like it creeping, you know, like creep. It almost seems like one's gonna happen soon. It's so bizarre. So anyway, so that was a new symptom that kind of freaked me out. But the weirdest symptom, something that I think I was experiencing this a little bit when I was still on birth control all the time. It feels like there's this like lurking sense of impending doom like over my shoulder. So like I'll sit and I'll be like thinking about something in the future, or like, oh okay, what do I have to do next week, or oh I'm going on this trip, or oh I'm doing this, or oh I have to plan for playlist or MegaCon or whatever, and something in my brain is like, oh if you're still around. And like, let me clarify, like 1,000 times clarify, I am not suicidal. I don't have suicidal thoughts. It's just like I'm very grateful for not being at that level of experience with depression and anxiety. Like I don't have them. But like, I guess if like you experience it, you know what I'm talking about. It's just this weird sense of impending doom, or like something is going to happen, like that's bad. And it's always there, very minor, and then when I focus on like things that I have to do in the future, that's when it kind of amplifies, and it's almost like I looked it up online, and apparently this is definitely a symptom of depression and generalized anxiety. Like people just have this, and I read stories online of people who just like live with it, like it's just always there. And so I don't know, because this is relatively new, I don't know if this is something that's gonna be with me for a while. I don't know if it's something that will eventually like kind of stagger off. I don't know if it's like circumstantial based on like what's going on in my life. I do know that once I lost my job, things definitely got a lot crazier because I was feeling fine, and then circumstances happened that obviously increased my anxiety, and I don't know, like it's so bizarre. It's bizarre. I think about this all the time, like how weird it is to think that our mind can control so many different like feelings and emotions and like physical symptoms and mental like it's just like, I don't know, it's so like, it's a lot. Either way, like I said, don't really have a point to this video, just kind of needed to like vent, because sometimes when I talk to my friends and family about it, like I get nervous because I don't want them to think that like I'm saying like, hey, I have this sense of impending doom, like maybe I'm gonna die. Like I don't want people to think that like I am gonna do anything, because I'm not. Like that's not what this is whatsoever. I just don't, like it's like I don't understand, and I need to see if someone else understands. I need to see if someone else knows what I'm talking about, because it's such like a touchy subject. I just don't want people to like worry in the sense that they think that I'm like in trouble actually. Like I'm not. It's so weird. Like it's so hard to explain. Even to a camera, even to you guys on the interwebs, it is so hard to explain. But yeah, so that's where my mental health is. Anyway, you guys, thanks for watching. Like I said, leave a comment down below if you know what I'm talking about, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, thanks for listening. If this is the first video that you're seeing of mine, hi, I'm Kayleigh. Make sure you subscribe and ring that notification bell. I make a ton of different types of content on this channel, and you're bound to find something that you enjoy. Links to my Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat are also down below. I will see you guys tomorrow with another video. Bye.